Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the academic party and the Chancellor.
I declare that the 492nd Convocation of McMaster University for the conferring of degrees is now in session.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me invite you to take your seats. Good morning. I am Busch-Vishniac, Provost and Vice President Academic of McMaster University. This morning, I have the great pleasure of acting as your Master of Ceremonies and of welcoming all of you to Convocation. Before we start our formal program, may I first ask everyone in the hall to switch off any electronic device that bings, rings, pings, or sings. Thank you. I now call upon our Chancellor to make welcoming remarks. Chancellor Wilson.
Thank you very much, Madam Provost, President, Vice Chancellor, Deane McNutt, Honorary Graduate, members of the Platform Party, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all, and a very warm welcome to this 492nd Convocation of McMaster University. To those graduating, you've reached an important milestone, an exciting milestone in your lives. Many of you will begin careers, embarking on new journeys. Some of you will be continuing your education, training, or preparation for more advanced or specialized activities. To the parents, grandparents, family members, spouses, and friends here today, you may bask in reflected glory and take pride in the accomplishments being recognized in this convocation. Ooh, I heard a ring. Madam Provost. To the faculty and staff, today marks tangible recognition of your efforts, particularly the successes of your students evident in this ceremony. I wish you all an enjoyable morning.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Patrick Deane, President and Vice Chancellor, who will be presenting our honorary degree recipient.
Mr. Chancellor, by the authority of the Senate of McMaster University, I have the honor to present Suzanne Labarge. Suzanne Labarge is a McMaster alumna and a business leader who has made great contributions in both the private and public sectors. After earning her BA in economics from McMaster and an MBA from Harvard Business School, Ms. Labarge got her start in the banking industry with the Royal Bank in 1971, where she served in a number of capacities before being appointed an executive officer in 1979. Her work included managing commercial and corporate lending, numerous branches across Canada, and running an internal audit in the Quebec district before going to work in the international division in Canada and overseas. In 1985, Ms. Labarge took her considerable skill and experience to the public service, joining the federal government as Assistant Auditor General. In that capacity, she made notable advances in the field of government risk management, having developed regulatory policies for Canadian financial institutions and served as a member of the BI's Committee for Bank Supervision during the time it finalized the Basel I regulatory capital regime, as well as the rules governing market risk. She joined the Office of the Superintendent of Financial Institutions Canada in 1987 as Deputy Superintendent Policy. In her last position as Deputy Superintendent Deposit-Taking Institutions, Ms. Labarge was responsible for all matters relating to banks and other deposit-taking institutions. Ms. Labarge returned to the private sector in 1995, where her work and influence in the field of market risk management continued to grow. She joined the Royal Bank of Canada as Executive Vice President and assumed global responsibility for Royal Bank's balance sheet management, funding, liquidity, and market risk management. She was then appointed Chief Risk Officer and Vice Chairman shortly after. And during that period, she oversaw the development of advanced portfolio management tools for the credit portfolio, the development of policies establishing the risk appetite of the organization, the establishment of an operational risk group, and the strategy for the implementation of Basel II. Ms. Labarge is and has been an extremely active corporate director, having served on the board of directors and as chair of the audit committee of Coca-Cola Enterprises, as a member of the supervisory board and risk committee of Deutsche Bank, as a director and chair of the audit committee of Novellus Inc., and as a member of the board of the Bank of China, Beijing. She is also an active volunteer and philanthropist. Here at her alma mater, she created the Raymond and Margaret Labarge Chair in Research and Knowledge Application for Optimal Aging, and she served as member of the cabinet for the extremely successful Campaign for McMaster University. She is currently a member of McMaster's Board of Governors. Mr. Chancellor, with each of Suzanne Labarge's professional roles, whether in the public or the private sector, she has made great contributions to the financial systems that are so important to the Canadian economy. For her work, as well as for her philanthropic and volunteer efforts, I ask that you confer upon Ms. Labarge the degree Doctor of Letters honoris causa.
Suzanne Labarge, by the authority of McMaster University Senate, I have the great pleasure to confer upon you the degree Doctor of Letters honoris causa in McMaster University with all the rights and privileges pertaining to that degree. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Suzanne. Come and sign the roll. It's now my pleasure to call upon Dr. Labarge to deliver the convocation address. Dr. Labarge.
Chancellor Wilson, President Deane, members of the faculty, graduands, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of you who are graduating today. When I graduated from McMaster 44 years ago, I never dreamed that I would be so privileged as to be receiving an honorary degree from my alma mater, and I am truly grateful. It is a pleasure and a privilege to be able to share this day with you. It's an important day for you, your families and friends, and an important milestone in your lives. Well, for some of you, this may be only a pause on the way to more formal education. For most of you, it is the beginning of a new stage in your life. It was 40 years ago this spring that I, with a newly minted MBA, joined the business world. The world that I joined bears little resemblance to the business world I operate in today. The same will be true for you. The only constant that you will face is change. Your opportunities will arise not only from accepting and adapting to change, but grasping it eagerly. You are well prepared because of what you have learned here at Mac. I'm not talking only about the technical skills that you have acquired. These are a prerequisite for today's world, but not sufficient for tomorrow's. There are far more important skills and experiences that you have acquired that will serve you well throughout your life. The first is the ability to learn. Over your time here, you will have figured out how you learn. You know where to find the information you need, what resources are available, and how to use them. You will need these skills in a fast-changing world where the premium on continuous learning. But accumulating knowledge alone is not sufficient. The second skill you will have acquired is the ability to use that knowledge. The university librarian probably said it best at a presentation he made to the Board of Governors. He was talking about technology and told us that he wanted to make sure that students knew when to stop searching and start thinking. What you will have learned is how to analyze an issue, how to determine what options are available, and most importantly, how to make a decision on which one to choose based on the best information available, knowing full well that you never have all the information. The third skill you will have acquired is the ability to work in teams, the ability to work with others, to draw on their knowledge and skills, to understand that each of us comes at an issue from different but equally valid perspectives will be invaluable to you all through your life. When you add to this the ability to work with people of other cultures, you're well placed to meet the global workplace. The multicultural nature of Canada is reflected in the student population here at McMaster. Few students are as well placed to deal with the increased diversity we see in today's business world. You understand that there are cultural differences, but have also had the opportunity to cross those barriers in working together to reach better decisions and have no doubt gained a better understanding of the complexity and richness of the world we live in. Besides using all your skills effectively, always remember to play to your strengths. While you will continue to grow, learn, and develop new skills over the years, the one thing that I have found as constant is that those who are happiest and most successful are those who are doing what they like. Some of you may have already found your passion, in which case pursue it. Others, like me, may be late bloomers, in which case experiment. Try a number of things until you decide what you really like doing and are good at. When you're looking at opportunities, ask yourself, will I learn from this? Can I contribute? And do I like the people I will be working with? You rarely find yourself in the wrong place if you can answer yes to those questions. Finally, remember to always be true to yourself. The path ahead of you will be filled with temptations to cut corners, to look the other way, or to behave in unethical ways for financial or professional gain. The short-term gain can be attractive, but it is short-term. The best leaders are those who know who they are, what they value, and, in that overused phrase, can walk the talk. No one succeeds alone. If you want to thrive, you need to deal with others with respect and integrity and play your role in the larger community to which you belong. You're in an exciting point in your lives. Savor it. Take full advantage of the opportunities that come your way. Build on everything that you've learned here at McMaster and have fun while doing it. But always remember who you are and what you value. Again, I congratulate all of you and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much, Dr. Labarge, for those thoughtful and inspirational words. Your words and your career, the works you've done, are excellent role models for business students graduating here this morning. In particularly, I hope some of them will take up public service as part of their careers and lives, as you have. And I wish them and you all the very best. Thank you very much.
We now enter that portion of our program for which many of you in the audience have been waiting more years than you care to confess. I invite Dr. Patrick Deane to come forward to present the graduands to our Chancellor for admission to their degrees.
Graduates, will you please stand? Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of McMaster University Senate, I present to you these candidates in order that you may confer the appropriate degrees upon them, and I bear witness that they are worthy and suitable.
Graduands, by my authority and that of the McMaster University Senate, I have the great pleasure to admit you to your individual degrees in McMaster University with all of the rights and privileges pertaining to those degrees. My sincere congratulations to you all. Please be seated.
Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of McMaster University Senate, may I also request that you confer the appropriate degrees in absentia upon all those candidates who have successfully completed the required course of study, but who are not present.
I declare all these degrees conferred in absentia.
Graduates, I now ask each of you to join me on stage so that the Chancellor and I may welcome you into the McMaster community of scholars.
Ladies and gentlemen, it would be appreciated if, during the presentation of the graduands, you would hold your applause to the end of each degree category. Thank you. Mr. Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Akanksha Bedi, Krista Lee Wilkin. Nicole M. Wagner.
Mr. Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Master of Business Administration. Bassam Abisab. Jonathan Haile Adgoy. Iram Lalima Ahmed. Tamer M. Hanafi Ahmed. Mohammed Habib Hassan. Martin Arjaszewski. Nancy Attrach. Eva Bajinska. Salim Bendali. Derek Paul Bartons. Brittany Jane Balch. Carol Renee Bove. Sean Wayne Bukama. Sabrina Bhatia. Jason Brenzel. Mandeep Badirija. Kevin Andre Burrell. Lori Ruthann Buzatil. Heishan Chow. Shane Alexander Cartledge. Andrew John Campbell Cartwright. Shipra Chauhan. Sangwook Cho. Namrata Chopra. Diana Chun-Yu. Christina Chisina Siapana. Victor Cipriani. Jonah Kahn. Angela Marie Cox. Scott Paul Cuddy. Eric Datars. Michael Edward Davies. Julianne Dawkins. Suman Danju. Fahim Dineth. Sergio Alain Domicos. Leanne Doolin. You do. Spiro Giris Alyssa. Munir Fadul. Mohsen Faruqi. Shang Fang. Jacqueline Ferguson. Gihan Fonseca. Dana Gamache. Sarmed Syed Galani. Monish Goyal. Britt Ashley Hattie. Nelsha Haji. Megan Horgan. Courtney Lynn Howitt. Zhenbin Wang. Kenneth Ephraim Jayasilan. Chris James Carney. Farah Khan. Md Abu Bakr Khan. Yasir Yar Khan. Uthman Kawaja. Andrew John Kingston. Eric Alexander Kubar. Ryan Chad Lambert. Daniel Langdon. Lauren Michael Lance. Laura Amy Kathleen Lavalle. Haidong Lee. Jennifer Lee. Ranran Lee. Shinyu Lee. Enki Liu. Fei Liu. Karen Lumsden. Rui Ma. Michael Manoka. Maria Manojlovic. Zelko Manojlovic. Jonathan Markle. Robert Keith McCord. Joanna McLaughlin. Joseph Keith Messam. Rafael Eduardo Middens. Corey Miron. Bevish Mystery. Carlin Marissa Moore. Andrew Morales. Narinder Mundi. Nurin Murji. Brett Murphy. Muniza Nematella. Jody Noble. Craig Peter Nguyen. Viva Nasser. Matthew O'Meara. Michael Oduro. Amir Ozdemir. Abbas Hasnain Panju. Aradna Prasad. Mark Todd Pichette. Carly Pueblo. Anita Paitel. Aideen Razagi. Rebecca Ashley Rutledge. Shauna Zoe Scarf. Natalie Stephanie Shankar. Jordan Siddell. Victoria Simonowski. Tanya Simoes. Jonathan David Skirving. Russell Smith. Shanul Srivastava. Christopher Stanis. Amy Stevenson. Rajesh Stankia. Alexandra Stosich. Megan Leah Sweeney. Sanan Tarlin. Kirk Teeple. Amanda Thompson. Mei Shichun Sheng. Scott Gino Vishal. Marcus Vizasich. Gregory James Wakefield. Jinhan Wong. Hongyun Wong. Xuan Wong. Andrew Watts. Magdalena Barbara Virus. David Williams. David John Wormald. Xiaodon Wu. Zhangye Ji. Chao Chao Ji. Shushan Shu. Lauren Yaksich. Angie Young. Chaim Simon Younger. Nixa Sarich. Yang Zhang. Haizhao Zhang. Man Zhang. Liang Zhu. Roy Thomas Zabina.
Mr. Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Master of Communications Management. Ilda Maria Dennis. Colleen Killingsworth. Kim T. Morris.
Mr. Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Bachelor of Commerce Honors. Anbarin Sayed Mehdi Abbas. Rami Abduni. Barry Asad Abdul Rahman. Tamer Abdullah. Sidika Abdullah. Baila Amberson. Odemi Adaran. Toby Akinwumi. Nigel Amodan. Brian Anderson. Andrew Ansenberger. Ursula Isabel Arce Salas. Matthew Ashton. Katrina Bayev. Cody Baker. Kristen Marie Balsor. Gavin Berry. Sarah Michelle Berses. Sarah Nicole Bernard. Radha Bambwani. Impreet Singh Bhatia. Marina Bilatos. Alison Ann Boisvert. Daniel Bolton. Megan Robin Brennan. Kate Britnell. Daniel Fletcher Brown. Melissa Brown. Dustin Brzezinski. Christopher Buscarino. David Campbell. Kara Campia. Christopher John Raymond Canham. Michael William Kareen. David Carragher. Justine Caruba. Dana Peter Cassidy. Jennifer Emily Cauchi. Mitesh Chada. Puneet Chahal. Darren Heng Wang Chan. Michael Feng Yu Chan. Mangal Jelly. Chao Yi Chen. Si Ting Chen. Yi Wen Chen. Kelvin Chung. Anita Chiapetta. Michael Anthony Chiesa. Colin Chisholm. Kevin Choi. Nazish Chopra. Kiran Chowdhury. Francis Chow. Sarah Churchill. Paul Giappana. Paul Tino. Michael Colwell. Allison Compo. Heather Crawford. Jennifer Crisp. Xu Si Kui. Gabriela Chamara de Souza. Mike Dam. Michelle Danyekan. Gregory Darkeff. Brett William Day. Nelia Pereira do Bastos. Mackenzie Dent. Alexander Michael DeVries. Vanessa Lynn Di Domenico. Monique Dieppe. Mallory Kathleen Doggett. James Lawrence Dowling. Eric Downing. Megan Elizabeth Duncan. Emily Dunphy. Adam T. Diak. Paul Easterbrook. Gregory J. Edmonds. Joshua Ellis. Sarah Emond. Sarah Jessica Farr. Daniel Ferguson. Igor Fick. Terry Lynn Nicole Fisher. Jarrett Foley. Zachary Ross Ford. Joel Fox. Jonathan Boyd French. Allison Fulmer. Carson James Gale. Anshuman Garga. Lukshi Nanachalban. Stephen Gomes. Tim Michael Owen Gulliver. Fang Wu. Monica Guzik. Stephanie Lynn Hack. Andrew William Haffenden. Michael James Halas. Warren Telford Hammond. Joseph Hanna. Anum Haq. Iman Haq. Sandra Bertha Haran. David Chisholm Harding. Ryan Harper. Badr Hassan. Soeb Hassan. Mark Hebert. Lauren Catherine Holder. Sophia Hong. Bao Ye Hu. Katrina Hutton. David Uchenna Ifejika. Claire Ingham. David John Harold Irwin. Adam Agustin Jazenko. Dinuk Jayasingh. Ji Zhao. Fang Yu Yang. Jessica Keith. Michael Kennedy. Matthew Forrest Ketchison. Mark Kroglian. Zara Kanani. Jeffrey Killip. Haris Kermani. Michael Kiss. Maya Nezik. Benjamin Koyman Hockenstein. Mark Richard Kovalchik. Michael Krawczyk. Rohit Krishna. Rebecca Kukowski. Julianne Kusemba. Carmen Kung. Peter Mile Kurpis. Marina Kuzovenko. Kevin Labourte. Kevin Lai. Seong Jin Lee. Yi Won Lee. Claire Leyland. Danielle Lezon. Dang Huing Lee. Wan Yi Lee. Cindy Janie Liu. Kin Hei Liu. Sao Ye Liu. Yuchi Liu. Karina Marta Lopes. Michelle Loderman. Alina Lowe. Devin Loudon. Samantha Lowe. Chen Liu. Sylvia Liu. Jonathan Ma. Daniel Makanowitz. Caitlin McNeil. Kohulin Mahanandan. Scott William Arthur Mann. Julia Mara Marcoux. Leanne Mark. Stephen Martin. Samantha Mascarenas. Lisa Matheson. Mary McCauley. Brendan McCann. Kiera McCarthy. Sarah McCorkindale. Julie McCorkindale. Darcy McGill. Alex McGregor. Martha McIver. David McMurdo. Cassandra McVicker. Fahad Mir. Adrian Joseph Meckley. Dennis Milicevic. Priya Mistry. Andrew Douglas Monachino. Stephanie Mooney. Gregory Michael Morris. Sherry Musavi. Bisan Musa. Zoeb Nakvi. Dasha Nazarova. Alicia Ning. Lok Ting Emily Ning. Y Kit Kenneth Ning. Yat Tin Ning. Antonia No. Ngok Nguyen. Stephen Joseph Nicholson. Anthony William Notenboom. Lorena Maria Elodia Novielli. Daria Novoselova. Lauren Gabriela Otway. Femi Okenla. Sam Okon Okpo. Caitlin Olo. Samantha Palota. Amanda Pandazopulu Hammond. Ryan Parkinson. Sheehan Kaushik Patel. Christopher Pekar. Ivana Samantha Penovich. Michael Robert Harley Perkins. Fadi Petros. Angela Piccoli. Mitchell Scott Pittaway. Bianca Pitton. Christopher Joseph Pitton. John Pollock. Jennifer Piper. Lee Quinn. Leanna Quach. Zoaid Mohamed Qureshi. Lazar Radakovich. Damian Radon. Anna Magdalena Rack. Sarah Ramage. Amrita Devi Ramprashad. Jonathan Richardson. Lee Robinson. Heather Russell. Diana Igihozo Ruzaj. Valeria Veronica Salzano. Danish Basil Samdamoten. Yvonne Rocio Sanchez. Jivaraj Sound. Mark Richard Kraszewski Schnicker. Robin Elizabeth Schultz. Michael Scott. Stephanie Sabank. Usama Siraj. Muhammad Omar Shafiq. Mariam Shahidi. Sunil Shridhar. Gopinath Shishkandaraja. Harsirat Sidhu. Carlos Siem Wu. Trevor Simpson. Harpreet Singh. Navneet Singh. Brian Su Chong. Carson Smith. Adrian Snyatala. Gi Song. Adrian Elizabeth Sporsik. Igor Stambak. Konstantin Starostin. Ashley Stewart. David Paul Stewart. Sarah Strutker. Bing Bing Soup. Alyssa Sudak. Priyanka Sudhir. Roman Speech. How when done. Kevin Long Do Tang. Raymond Lokman Tang. Wen Fei Tao. Yin Shu Tao. Raunuma Taranam. Laura Taylor. Alexander Tedcha Subrata. Victoria Alexandra Torella. Thanusha Tharmakula Singham. Michael Thibodeau. Monica Thind. Andrew Thompson. Surasi Thong Chan. Thomas Michael Thielen. Leanna Tiu. Andrew Lloyd Till. Andrew Topping. Catherine Dawn Trenholm. Rebecca Treeseyes. Patrick Pui Yin Tse. Edwin Ikena Ubaka. Ashley Taylor Vanderzijden. Olivia Veristyuk. Melissa Voss. Ali Wadud. Victoria Wang. Jinyo Wang. Ziju Wang. David Sebastian Weeks. Kevin Robert Weldon. Amanda White. Justin Lauren Paul Whiteside. Nicole Wilson. Aaron Michael Winship. Angela Michelle Wolin. Wai Yin Tiffany Wong. Wilson Shun Yu Wong. Magdalena Vos. Sheng Wu. Tao Shu. Wei Karen Zhu. Yi Zhu. Yi Wen Shu. Miles Yaksich. Min Yang. Mengdi Yao. Holly In-ho Young. Nicholas Youngblood. Christopher Zacher. James Zarur. Rongjing Zhang. Nicholas John Zigraya. Yanyan Zhu. Ying Zhu. George Zarinchuk. Shen Song. Mr. Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Bachelor of Commerce. Nasima Amadzi. Ezgi Akaglian. Rana Albadran. Dina Baker. Mark Anthony Baldassi. John Henry Bojeski. Arian Boris. Alessandra Sicoria. Katrina Ann Davenport. Harveen Dother. Timothy Leo McDonald Doucette. Candace Dove. Jia Fu. Sangeeta Gandhi. Lida Gahari. James Gray. Michael Griffin. Ira Harrington. Emily Michelle Hudson-Roeder. Dua Khaled. Shumela Khan. Brittany Kizalowski. Ekaterina Kozhikina. Siu Hong Lau. Paul Lukosius. Stephen Thomas McFarland. Peter Mikalski. Amit Nakra. Young Min Oh. Daniel Pastor. Evan John Pierce. Summer Ferris Kireshi. Lukshmi Rajasingham. Laura Robertson. Ivan Rowich. Michael Rossi. Terrence Tyler Santoni. Wesley Sabutis. Stephen Edward Sidsworth. Tracy Silverstein. Samir Walji. Tiffany Wong. Maggie Wu. Crystal Zhu. Rui Yang. Mengzhu Zhu.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce you to Ms. Zara Kanani, a graduate of the Bachelor of Commerce Honors Program, who will be delivering the valedictory address.
Thank you. Chancellor, President Deane, Provost, academic faculty, esteemed audience. I was born in Pakistan, grew up in the deserts of Saudi Arabia, spent a brief time on the island of Bahrain, and I landed in Hamilton, Ontario, together with you on September 6th, 2007. 1,377 days later, I am honored to be your valedictorian. I would like to take a moment and really ask everyone to reflect on what today signifies, not just as a culmination of hard work, good schooling, and scholastic achievement, but as a milestone the graduation class of 2011 has conquered. Before I drown you in my borrowed words of wisdom, I would personally like to thank God, Mommy and Papa, Shafaq and Ahmed, professors, mentors, and friends for everything that you have made me. I'm going to deliver 3 messages to you this morning: 500,000 hours, fear, and sustainability. 500,000 hours is something I like to call putting everything into perspective. We have spent the last 33,000 hours as undergraduates at the DeGroote School of Business. If the average life expectancy is 81 years, which Google tells me it is, then you still have 500,000 hours left. The best is yet to come. Are you ready for what lies ahead, or are you fearful? Are you afraid of graduating in a global recession? Are you afraid of a world where governments are being overthrown while you are sitting in class? Are you afraid of the job employment market and what it has to offer to you? And are you afraid that you might not live up to your potential? Well, don't be. Fear is what keeps people small. In the next 500,000 hours, I'm asking you to believe. Believe that there's a force inside you that cannot be reckoned with. That a force that once catapulted will snowball into greatness. Marianne Williamson once wrote, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us." We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people don't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. I dare all of you to believe in yourself and your ability to liberate each other. And not just in the corporate world, but within our society at large. As Dr. Seuss said, you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. We have been thrust into a society obsessed with credentialism, with obtaining degree after degree after degree. And it's important that amidst our fear and longing to keep up, we don't lose sight of what makes us happy, of our dreams, hopes, and above all, our character. It's as simple as steering yourself in the direction you choose. Now, I'd like to touch on the topic of sustainability. What does sustainability mean to you? For me, it means the capacity to be continued. While we are here now, there are many who came before us, and many are yet to come. While knowledge is not hard to come by, the ability of applying it, processing it, and using it to shape the world is a gift that not everyone is given. Now we have a choice. Are we going to revolve around this ability, or are we going to let this ability revolve around us? By letting it revolve around us, we effectively commander our locus of control and bestow this gift on others. And then we'll watch it multiply. It is now our responsibility to make sure that the DeGroote experience lives on. Go ahead, look at the person on your left and on your right, graduates. Do you know either of them well or not at all? In the end, it doesn't matter, because you are all DeGroote alumni. We have all shared the Rita Cosa experience, the Capstan debacle, and the torture of Saturday morning exams. And unfortunately, I thought we had tassels on our heads, so I was going to ask you if the tassels were worth the hassle. But apparently we're going to have to wait till our MBA. And all of this, good and bad, is what we all share, and no one can take it away from us. I would like to thank, on behalf of our graduating class, those people that have ensured our success and without whom we would be nothing. To our parents, I applaud you on 22 years of love, care, and friendship that you have given each of us. I would like to congratulate you on behalf of the graduating class of 2011 for everything that you have accomplished. To our professors, I'd like to quote William Arthur Ward, who stated, "The mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires. Thank you for the inspiration." To Paul Bates, while we wish you could be closer with us to commemorate our special day, we are grateful and privileged for having the opportunity to work alongside you. To Dr. Nick Bontis and the faculty of the Business School, thank you for making our experience at DeGroote phenomenal and unforgettable. Lastly, good luck to Dean Bob McNutt for the year to come. You have a responsibility to maintain the high value of our degree. In conclusion, believe in yourself and your ability to change the world. Work with purpose and to help others as they have helped you. Lastly, remember that we all have our time machines. Some take us back. They are called memories. Some take us forward. They are called dreams. I thank all of you for being part of my memories and for stirring my dreams. Thank you.
We've heard much about excellent instruction in the DeGroote School of Business. Now I am privileged to call upon our president, Patrick Deane, who will present the President's Award of Excellence in Instruction.
Would Mandeep Malik please come forward? Mandeep Malik is passionate about teaching. He is a dynamic and devoted instructor, recognized for his innovative educational initiatives, his advocacy for experiential learning, and his natural ability to enable and immerse students in the world of marketing, in the classroom, and in real-world business contexts. As an assistant professor, Mandeep believes that his students are his allies. He fosters motivation in his learners by believing in their capacity and capabilities, by partnering with them in the process of problem solving, and by embedding lifelong learning, citizenship, leadership, and social responsibility. He is instrumental in the development of collaborations between McMaster students and faculty and corporate partners within industry. In doing so, he helps to create institutional capital and proud alumni. Using various teaching techniques such as job shadowing, role-playing, and online simulations, he enhances the learning environment for his students by creating a truly immersive learning environment. Mandeep envisioned and created new experiential learning-based educational initiatives such as the Mars Apprentice, Mars Forum, Canada's Next Top Ad Exec, High School Business Heroes, Focus 2040, BizX, and Synergy Summer Camp, which have given students opportunities to think outside of the classroom, to stretch their imaginations, to apply knowledge, provide solutions, gain competence, and build confidence. Mandeep has had a profound impact on the lives of his students. Dr. Ashish Pujari, Chair of the Strategic Market Leadership and Health Services Management area, says that he cannot think of any other faculty member in the school who has made so much impact in so many students' lives and has left an indelible mark for his teaching and mentoring abilities in the institution and in the broader community. A quote there from Dr. Pujari. Mandeep's success in creating experiential learning opportunities for marketing students has been recognized by students and colleagues not only at McMaster, but also across Canada. With humble enthusiasm and encouragement, he is admired for challenging his students to achieve seemingly unreachable expectations. Mandeep Malik is certainly a worthy recipient of a 2011 President's Award for Instruction. Please join me in congratulating him.
Mr. Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present the following students who have won awards this year. The Basu Medal graduate, Fahim Dinath.
Congratulations to you. Thank you. Good luck. All the best.
The D.M. Mike Hedden Medal, Russell Smith.
I knew Mike Hedden, and that's a great medal. Congratulations to you.
The Alan J. Grev St. Joseph's Healthcare Medal, Victoria Simonovsky.
Looks like an envelope with it. Congratulations to you. You okay?
The Litvak Medal in Marketing, Sean Bukama.
Al Litvak was a friend of mine as well. Congratulations. It's a great honor.
Thank you. The R.J. Spence Memorial Medal, once again, Russell Smith.
Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Two of them. All the best to you.
The E.H. Ambrose Gold Medal to Gregory Darkiff.
Congratulations to you.
Merci
Great
beaucoup.
honor.
Thank you.
Félicitations.
And the Basu Medal for an undergraduate, Najish Chopra.
Congratulations, Najish. It's a great honor.
Once again, congratulations to all our medal winners.
Ladies and gentlemen, many of the people here today entered the room as graduands. They are now graduates and alumni. So it is my privilege to introduce to you Ms. Karen McQuigg, a representative of the McMaster Alumni Association. Karen will now deliver the Alumni Association address.
Chancellor Wilson, President Deane, McMaster faculty, fellow alumni, honored guests, and members of the class of 2011. As director of the alumni program at McMaster, on behalf of Bill McLean, our McMaster Alumni Association president, I have the privilege today of representing the Mac alumni family, a family that will have grown by over 5,000 this spring. The 147 members of the McMaster Alumni Association are an unconventional family. We don't expect invitations to your birthday, and we promise we won't ask you to help us move furniture. Instead, we're united by common experiences and shared McMaster pride. We are proud when Ivan Reitman, class of 1969, is nominated for a Best Picture Oscar. When Julie Angus, class of 1997, becomes the first woman to row across the Atlantic Ocean. And when Stephen Elop, class of 1986, becomes CEO of Nokia. And most importantly, your fellow alumni take pride in you. In 2009, your Alumni Association surveyed MAC grads and found that pride in our alma mater and our fellow alumni is exceptionally high. The reasons for that pride are numerous and as individual as our graduates. If you do need some external validation, though, just remember McMaster is one of only 4 universities in Canada that is ranked within the top 100 universities in the world. So go ahead and brag about earning your degree at Mac. You are well justified in doing so. I encourage you to exercise that pride by staying connected to McMaster. Read your alumni magazine, follow the association on email, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Become a mentor. Participate in an event. Take advantage of the preferred rates offered to alumni through our affinity programs. Become a donor or volunteer for MAC. And perhaps one day you will be in the same seat as our Chancellor, Dr. Wilson, a graduate of the class of 1962 who has continued his active association with McMaster for almost 50 years. You may not be aware that while you were busy earning your degree, the Alumni Association was already working on your behalf. With donations to the McMaster University Student Center, the David Braley Athletic Center, Alumni Field, as well as bursaries and scholarships, we hope that we help to create the best possible student experience for you and future students at MAC. There's a place for all of you in the McMaster Alumni Association. You may be an occasional event participant or a leadership volunteer, but as you take your McMaster experiences into the years and decades ahead, remember that you are all ambassadors and advocates of your alma mater. Your achievements are the best advertisement for the value of a McMaster degree. Today, we celebrate your success as students and toast the promise of your bright futures as alumni. Your fellow Mac grads are proud of you already. We offer you our most sincere congratulations and a very warm welcome to the McMaster alumni family. Thank you.
And now I invite President Deane to return to the podium to deliver the President's address.
Mr. Chancellor, Madam Provost, Dr. Labarge, Dean McNutt, distinguished faculty, graduating students, ladies and gentlemen. Within the walls of this auditorium today, graduates, you are both in and out of time, in a very special sense. The medieval rituals which we've all been engaged in drive home that message. For these few hours, it would be true to say that your past is concluded and your future, that 500,000 hours of which Zara spoke, is not yet demanding your attention. You can bask in the pleasure of your achievement, in the fellowship of your classmates and friends, and in the adoration or perhaps even the relief of your parents and family. So my warmest congratulations to you all for all that you have done. This is no small achievement. A convocation is a gathering of the university family, and with this ceremony today, we welcome you permanently into membership of that family, as you just heard from Karen. And in that respect, this event is not unlike a wedding. And that thought prompts me to remark that in case you hadn't noticed, since your first admission to the university, we've in fact only been engaged. The results of your final examinations have provided good evidence of honorable intentions on your part. So today we've tied the knot that binds you to McMaster forever. Zara's a tough act to follow. So in thinking about what I'd like to say to you, I'm going to focus on that word, forever. It's odd how one comes back to it, so much for being both in and out of time. But your future awaits you, and you must go from here, and you must meet it. Or in another way to think of this, there's a future out there awaiting you, and you must go out there and make it. I think that rewording is important, because what I want to talk about today is not that your future is predetermined, but rather that when you leave this hall, you will each be agents in history, relatively free, with the power to shape both your own destiny and, importantly, the destiny of our nation and of our planet. And if you are able to find within yourselves the will to do that, again, as Zara said, there is a light that wants to shine. I expect you will have the will to do that in one way or another. The real question to be answered must be how. Not by what practical means you will achieve that, but in what spirit you will approach the world. Now, I could push that wedding analogy. You know, in one version of the wedding service, at any rate, there is advice given to the couple on the mood in which they should enter into marriage. Not unadvisedly, not lightly, not wantonly, but reverently, discreetly, advisedly, soberly, etc. I think it would be going too far to recommend those virtues to you. But the graduates of this fine university, in taking up their agency in the world, do have responsibilities that must be discharged. With the privilege of higher education, and in particular a McMaster education, comes the expectation that your future actions will redound in some way to the benefit of those less privileged, of humanity at large, and through all of that, to the credit of your alma mater. The future which you make for yourselves is ours also. So in what spirit should you approach that future? Now, one version of the normal speech that could be given on this occasion is one familiar to you all. Karen mentioned one of our alumni who received an award at the Oscars, and you know that standard Oscars speech, usually given by a new star. I just want everyone to know that if you just want something hard enough, and if you work for it hard enough, you will succeed. That's what happened to me. Look, here I am. That's the speech. The most notable version of that I've heard over the years has been Christina Aguilera's at the Grammys. Now, I certainly applaud that positive message. It is certainly true that in some cases, sheer disciplined determination does bring success. But it certainly does not always do so, despite what one hears at the Oscars. So today, I want to recommend to you, and here my message is in a sense a complement to or a supplement to Zara's. I want to recommend to you the virtue of a different kind of self-discipline. And it's possible that it won't reverberate for you quite so well today when you all feel, as is your right, like kings and queens of the world. But I hope that in time you'll come better to understand its importance. I was recently in Beijing to attend a World Summit of University Presidents, part of which was a special session focusing on the issue of the university's education and social responsibility. On show, there were, as you can imagine, many very different understandings of what we mean when we use that phrase, social responsibility. But one intervention in particular has stayed with me in the weeks since my return. And this came from Dr. Junichi Hamada, president of Tokyo University, who indicated that in the days since the earthquake and tsunami devastated the northeastern part of his country, Japanese society has markedly lost confidence in science and technology. And in consequence, a gap has opened up between the universities and the public at large, where once the two were joined in a relationship of optimism, confidence, and high aspirations, there is now skepticism and doubt. Now, in part, this news was easy to understand and not surprising. The failure of engineers and scientists successfully to contain the crisis at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant was bound to provoke a collapse of confidence. And as the days have turned into weeks, and as prior assurances about the safety of people living in close proximity to the plant have been shown to be unfounded, cynicism has proliferated. But still, I found myself wondering why the fact of the earthquake and the tsunami themselves should affect public confidence in science and in education. After all, While it is true that scientists may be able on rare occasions to predict disasters, and quite commonly to advise on preparing for them, it remains the case that science can no more prevent natural disasters occurring than Canute, the Dane who was King of England, could successfully command the tide to halt and not wet his feet in robes. I'm sure many of you know that story. He's famous for setting his throne on the beach and commanding the tide to stay out as a test of his power as king. Now, it's a story that's frequently misunderstood, though. In our modern age, this man, Canute, is usually cited as an example of early Western megalomania. So apparently, to interpret this, what we know, namely that the seas and similar natural forces will listen to no man, he did not know, being drunk perhaps on power or deluded by religious superstition. That's the popular version of this story. If you read the one extant contemporary account of what Canute did, the story is very different. The point of Canute's actions is to remind his courtiers and clerics of nothing less than the limitations of human knowledge, human power, and aspiration. In the contemporary account, once his feet are wet, the sea has triumphed over him and he has made his point. He takes off and hangs up his crown. Now, the moral of this story, told first 800 years ago, is that there are very significant limitations to the human ability to achieve, and that in some contexts, our desires, our aspirations, as well as our technology, can be irrelevant. At the conference in Beijing, I wondered, in fact, whether the public disillusionment of which Dr. Hamada spoke was not, in fact, in some way connected to, even nurtured by, the extravagance with which universities themselves occasionally frame their aspirations and goals, making claims to an unrealistic level of influence and effectiveness. What happened to Canute, whose story I just told, was natural and expected. It would happen to any of us, and it could only have been cause for humiliation and embarrassment if he had previously asserted that he could make the sea concede to his will. I'm not suggesting that science in Japan, or technology in Japan, or anywhere else for that matter, is subject to the level of self-delusion embodied in the popular conception of Canute, but I am wanting to sound a warning to you to reject the false certainties and the spurious confidence in progress, which is one of the defining attributes of our time. I notice that Dr. Hamada has posted on the web a very fine essay on his university and its public responsibility. He makes claims there for the university which are sensible and sound and appropriately modest in a post-Fukushima context. There are no grand claims for the ability of science or learning to conquer all challenges. It has to be noted, nevertheless, that Dr. Hamada expresses the aspirations of the academy through a linear metaphor. We're on a path, he says. If you're on a path, it's assumed it must lead somewhere. And the presumption we're invited to make is that where it leads will in some sense be better than where we are at present. This kind of thinking used to be called evolutionary meliorism because it assumed that we are always in the process of becoming better than we were, of being more powerful, more insightful, more wealthy, more in command of nature and its intractable forces. And in business, one analog for evolutionary meliorism is that assumption that continuing economic growth or continuing increase of wealth is not only desirable, but somehow inevitable. That at the personal as well as the national, the micro as well as the macro level, the appropriate trajectory should always be upward. In another discourse, the trend basically bullish, albeit with some occasional bearish moments or setbacks. Is this the spirit in which you should approach your future? Determined optimism, bullishness certainly has its place, an important place in building our economy as well as our culture and society. in underwriting scientific speculation and investigation, in driving forward to solve the problems of humanity through research and humanitarian work. There is undoubtedly truth in what the actor says when he or she asserts that if you believe in yourself or in a cause, anything is possible. But it is only a partial truth, and a sentimental one at that. On an occasion like this, as you celebrate what you have achieved, what you know, and what you can do, it is important to hold yourself to the discipline of acknowledging what you don't know, what you may not be able to do, and the possibility that some achievements may remain forever beyond your grasp. Now again, this broader ontological question has a business application. In his book, The Ascent of Money, Niall Ferguson notes that the most important lesson of financial history is that sooner or later, every bubble bursts. Ferguson asserts that the history of money is the essential backstory behind all history. So by extension, the chronicle of human activity is a sequence of irregularly alternating booms and busts. The lesson for today, then? Watch out for the bear, for he is like the water to Canute, or Fukushima to Japanese science, a reminder of our limitations, of where we lose control, of where our will and ambitions will not prevail, regardless of the intensity with which we hold them. Why is this important to remember? We habitually talk as if the great achievements of humankind, whether in business, in art, or science, were all the result of determination, resolve, and the single-minded pursuit of an idea. Even if that is true, a countervailing point is that single-mindedness also lies at the base of our greatest man-made tragedies. And that is why skepticism and proper doubt must go with you into your futures after today. The assumptions of your work and life you must never allow to go unquestioned. And you should take care always to understand the broader human context within which the decisions which will shape your life professionally and personally have to be made. In closing, and to illustrate this point, I wish to recall the late Jacob Bronowski, a mathematician, biologist, and a historian of science, who had some remarkable things to say about the value of doubt and the acknowledgement of one's potential for error. In a famous television series aired in 1973, Bronowski bent down to lift from a pond at Auschwitz a wet handful of the ashes of the Holocaust dead, thereby invoking our greatest man-made tragedy. And in that context, he had this to say about science. And I encourage you to hear in that word science a sign of all forms of human knowledge. Science is a very human form of knowledge. This is Bronowski. We are always at the brink of the known. We always feel forward for what is to be hoped. Every judgment in science stands on the edge of error and is personal. Science is a tribute to what we can know, although we are fallible. This is a key observation. What you're celebrating today is a tribute to all you can know, but it must be celebrated in a recognition of your own fallibility. Bronowski, in the series, quotes from Oliver Cromwell, "I beseech you, think it possible that you may be mistaken." And that single-minded self-delusion led, of course, in the mid-part of the 20th century to a human tragedy of massive proportions. So for the word science, read business, or indeed any human activity in which we seek higher and higher levels of success, more and more profound and transformative kinds of knowledge. Bronowski reminds us how critical it is ultimately for our humanity, but equally for success at the more mundane level, that we acknowledge the limits of our understanding. Paradoxically, our only guarantee of success is an acknowledgement that we stand always in an intimate and personal relation to error. Graduates, in that spirit, I congratulate you, I wish you all well, and I commend you to the years ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for those wise and inspirational words. Thank you also, Zara, for your very forthright presentation. You're clearly an excellent representative of the class of 2011. Congratulations to you. Well, let me once again congratulate Dr. Labarge, thank her for joining us here today and for bringing her family with her, whom I know and have worked with, and delighted to see you all here today. Congratulations. Let me also congratulate our provost for marshaling our forces here today. And on your behalf, I'd like to say a word of thanks to all the people who work behind the scenes and in front of the scenes here to make an event like this happen. So thank you all very much for your efforts. I realize the hour is approaching noon, and I'm all that stands between you and some refreshments. I don't know if anybody is interested in the hockey game this evening. Canucks are going to win, are they? Let me announce that flowers that have been delivered for graduates will be available at the coat check in the main lobby. I'd ask you all to please remain standing at your seats until the academic procession and the graduates have left the hall. And I'd like to add my word of congratulations to all the graduates and to the award winners today. Best of luck to you all. I'd ask you now to rise and join with me in the singing of our national anthem. After the singing of the anthem, this convocation stands adjourned.